Hey everybody, welcome to SC Custom Designs. You are in the woodshop of SC Custom Designs. My name is Steve Larkin, and we are a small business here in upstate New York, United States. And we're going to be premiering our video. YouTube just put out the tools so you can do a video and then have folks join you live, which is pretty cool. So it is Friday, November something, I don't remember, 7th, I don't know what it is, or 8th. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll premiere this video as you're watching it now on Saturday, and we'll be able to chat with each other. But so basically what I'm going to do, I want to make an announcement that I am going to start what I call a virtual international woodshop. What in the world is that? Well, it's the high level, it's the idea where you get to share with me, and I get to share with you, and you get to share with them, those who are our subscribers, your experiences in the woodshop. What tools do you have? What are your pros and cons of your woodshop? Where would you like to be? And what was your humble beginning? What sort of projects do you make? And how do you make them? Lord knows there's dozens of ways to basically construct a thing. And we can learn a lot from each other. So the idea, I don't know that this exists, is a virtual international woodshop. And so, for example, you're in my woodshop, and as we scan around and we see a tool, we can talk about the tool. What is that tool, by the way? Well, this is the planer. Well, in my country, we can't get a planer like that. It's going to cost double what it costs in the United States. I understand that. So I lived in Israel as a teenager. I learned how to speak Hebrew there, and I actually learned how to work with wood. And I had my humble beginnings there using chisels and wooden hammers like this. This is a chicory hammer. All right. We didn't have a lot of tools. Ball peen like this. We weren't allowed to use electric tools. We had saws like this. We had, as I mentioned, chisels. We did have marking gauges like this, but they were plain wood with no writing on it like this. And you had your basic tools. And that was just a great way to learn how to start working with wood. I made a dovetail a desk. Dovetail joinery. We learned how to do things like this. So at any rate, as you went around, if we just went around my shop and we're going to do another little spin, you're going to see tools. The whole idea is, hey, this is my wood shop, and these are the tools that I have. This is the project that I'm working on. And how do you guys handle this situation? And I'm not going to have the answer every time. If you've been watching my videos for any period of time, you know that I don't do a lot of pre and prep. I basically just do them, and sometimes you'll see my mistakes. The real world is we make mistakes. So I don't wait to have it perfect. I don't have time for that, actually. But so let's do it again. So we're going to just scan. This is my wood shop in upstate New York, if I haven't mentioned that. And you can see, you can get a glimpse of the tools that I have. All right. And I think that Barney's Woodshop has a Rikon, but I'm not sure, bandsaw. And he may be on today's episode. He'll be chiming in, hopefully. All right. So as we scan around, you could say, well, Steve, what is that tool and what do you use it for? So you can pause the video and come back to me and leave your comments. By the way, if you like the concept or my videos, please consider subscribing to our channel. We have 400 plus videos on all kinds of subjects. So as we're scanning by and you're looking at tools, we probably did a review on the tool. All right? And each time I go around, you're going to see more and more tools. I didn't have a lot of tools when I first started out. I had two and a half kids in the 90s, and I didn't have these tools. I had basically a radial arm saw, Porter cable router. Those were big price items for me, just starting out in my marriage in '86. In the 90s, we moved into this place I'm going to show you. All right, so we're going by. That's a dust booth over there. All right. We lived in the Maybe house, the Maybe farm. We just did a show there, 2 shows in 2018. The Maybe farm here. My wood shop was on that porch in the middle A-frame there. That's a historic society. They have all kinds of units on there that used to be there many years ago. Look it up, Jan Maybe Farm. And then the other one we did was the Carrot Festival. So now the subject comes up, hey, how do you do a craft show, Steve? We'll talk about that. And we're scanning around over here. Well, how did you make that unit over there? And there's going to be those of you at wood shops that are joining us, you know, having a lot of faith that this is going to take off. And you can say, well, here's how I made that. And what I'm hoping to do is to attract those folks who are just starting out. And you can feel free, with no intimidation, to ask me a question about anything really you see here. And if I don't know the answer, I'll research and I'll find the answer. All right, so we just did a scan. Now we're going to go down a little bit lower and show you some things under here. You'll recognize most of these tools. And some tools I have replication, because having 1 or 2 tools that are the same allow you to set up production points. Okay? So you got to know your market. You know, you got to know your audience when you do a craft show. And this says Shalom in Hebrew. We sold several Shalom signs. I sold a menorah. You're asking what's a menorah if you don't know what that is. Now this is just a skinny one that I made. But I made a really huge one. You can look that up. And so anyway, I think it's going to be very exciting. Let's see how much time we have. We have 7 minutes we've gone. So what did you see when you went around the wood shop? If I went around again, you'd see even more and even more. I didn't open up cupboards to show you the specialty. So we can just go through and really forever and just talk about whatever. And again, the idea is this is my wood shop in my country, and these are my tools. And this is how long I got, you know, it took me to get these tools, and this is how I use my tools. These are my projects. We're going to just be excited right along with you when we see your techniques. What I find is this, is that, for example, when I first started out, I had just a few tools. I could do a lot with my few tools. And as I think back on some projects, I'm pretty amazed at what I have made. Is it really cool to have, you know, your power tools like this, the planer, and radial arm saws and drill presses, table saws, dust collection system. This dust collection system was the quickest. Yes, you can get that. I got from my lovely one. When I say, can I get a dust? Yes, you can. Because it's going to save your lungs. It's not the big chips, you know, that you see on the floor that are going to hurt you. It's that really fine dust. Let's talk about it. This here breaks down, will suck up to 5 microns of dust, okay? Down to 5 microns. So that's taking your really, really fine dust and putting it there in that bag where it belongs, not in your lungs, okay? I didn't have that for most of my woodworking career. I got that a couple of years ago. And I have like 2 or 3 bags that it came with. And you can see, you know what? I'm going to reuse my bags and duct tape them and get the most life I can out of them. All right? Now, as we look down, you're going to see that I have my tools on bases and rollers. If you didn't notice that the first time around, maybe I didn't get low enough. But that's critical. Here's a really heavy unit that I can basically move with fingers like this. And it's really, really important for, Steve Carmichael pointed this out. Look him up on YouTube. He has an awesome channel. Talks about awesome things in the wood shop. You can rearrange your shop very quickly. And when you have not a lot of space, now I know I have more space than some of you have 3 times the space that I have or more. But I can go ahead and rearrange these tools. Even my workbench is on wheels. They're lockable wheels. I can lock them down. So there you go. And when I do my videos, I try to talk about a lot of things that otherwise is off the subject, but on the subject, really, of woodworking. That's what it's all about, again. So, all right, how long we've been going. And then I'm going to just go ahead and recap. We've gone 10 minutes, 39 seconds. All right, so this is my 3rd premiere video. And I hope that there's at least 2 folks on that said they'd be here. Of course, I'm going to know that when we're all watching this video. But I have to adjust my brain to think about this. So we're premiering the video together. And again, as I close, I'm going to throw out a new concept. The concept is having an international wood shop where we get to showcase our wood shops. We get to showcase how we make a thing. And I think we're going to learn a lot from each other. So please consider this. Give me your feedback. If you're watching this video not on premiere day, which is going to be tomorrow, Saturday at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then, you know, just get back to me. Leave me notes. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell if you want to be notified that a video just went up. And we'll talk about it, my friends. Okay? Just one more example, right? So you look behind me. I have my clamps. All sorts of clamps. These are my smaller clamps. Okay? Just behind me where I could take them out and put them into service, right? And when I'm done, take them out of service and put them right back where they came from. That's how we stay tidy and efficient. And so that's an idea that maybe you have not implemented. My longer and bigger clamps, as a matter of fact, all the clamps used to be back here until I did my 3rd reorg. So we have pipe clamps that are back there that are 6 feet tall, and various other types of very strong pipe clamps. And we have Shopsmith clamps over there, the brown ones here. I don't like the video zoom in because it makes people sick. I'm going to try to do it. Yeah. There we go, those guys there. So when you cut wood, when you rip wood, more than likely on your table saw, and you join those pieces together, that tool helps to squeeze the wood this way and this way. All right, and that's critical when you want things to be just perfect. There's so many ways to do a thing. We have down in my wood bench over here, the biscuit joiner. $200 for a tool that makes a small cavity, oval cavity within the wood. $200, worth every penny. Did I have it in the 90s? I did not. I did dowel joinery back then. And I don't know if it's hanging up. I have a dowel jig somewhere. I talked about it recently. But I joined the wood up with dowels. Now, if I come over here, you're going to see the dovetail marker. We're going to go through that episode together. You need to do them by hand. That tool, here's a very good quality marking tool that I upgraded to. Here's a Japanese saw that cuts so thin. Really, really efficient. And a Japanese 90-degree saw up here, the coping saw concept, right? It basically allows you to just come down into that angle where the dovetail comes down and just immediately start cutting away the waste. Okay? So it avoids that awkward, oh, I'm not quite going in down like this. So we'll talk about that too. All right. We have 14 minutes. Let's go ahead and close up. Again, this is Steve Larkin. SC Custom Designs. I've been woodworking off and on since 1978, where I learned in Israel. Met folks from all over the world, including South Africa. We have a subscriber from South Africa, Mozambique, and I've got friends from all over the world that I met there, living in Israel for 6 years. I lived there from 15 to 21. All right, so I know what it's like not to have a lot of money, and I was a missionary. We didn't have money. We were doing the work of God there and those types of things. But we embraced everybody and pulled everybody into the fellowship and helped them and fed them and volunteered and did all of those types of things. That's what the video is about. But that's a little bit about my life. All right. And now I'm 55 years old, married to this lovely lady. And we have 4 kids grown up. And, you know, actually, if you go through my videos, you'll see one of them. His name is Josh, and he helped me with the series with replacing this tabletop there. Okay, that's not your typical regular arm saw tabletop. Okay, for example, I said I would stop, huh? This fence is screwed in to the tabletop. Okay, that's not normal. Okay, let's go over to. We were recently really blessed with 4 major tools, and we started doing videos on them. This is a jointer, a jet, really powerful. I've torn it apart and purchased things like this jig that's going to help me set the 3 blades. I actually found a company that reproduces old manuals, so I have the manual for this unit. All right, I ordered new blades for it as well. And so, I just forgot what I was going to say. Suffice it to say, I'm very excited to go with this venue, the International Virtual Woodshop. So please spread the word. We're not going to demand a lot of time from people. As a matter of fact, I used to do 3 or 4 videos a week. I've got 400 plus videos now, and we have a lot of fun. I talk about everything. Again, I don't rehearse. I believe in just doing things in real time and doing it that way. So at any rate, thank you for tuning in. I can only hope and look into the future that we have people commenting on the video and leaving your comments. Subscribe to my channel, leave comments on that, look up my videos, just do a search for any subject. And if there's something you want to talk about, something you saw in my wood shop or something that I may have just said off the cuff, and you'd like to how about let's work through projects together? Wouldn't that be fun? And there's no pressure about this. My daytime job is a software QA guy for a huge company, international company. So that's what I do in the daytime. But night and weekends is my passion, which is woodworking. So thank you for coming into my shop. I hope you enjoyed this premiere. And again, I'm looking into the future, hoping that there's lots of folks that are joining us. Please help spread the word. Thanks. God bless. Stay safe in the woodshop.